Angeli.
Terry.
I was thinking about something that's happening in my life. I wanted to ask you. Do you find that a lot of your friends or acquaintances seem to demand a lot of time and attention? Because that seems to be happening to me. And I kind of wonder what's really going on. People seem to be in some way needy of attention or something. Do you find that at all in your life?
I think, yes, I do.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. But I think given what has happened around the world recently with the COVID and everybody staying indoors and not having much face-to-face interaction, it's inevitable this was going to happen.
I suppose.
And you mentioned about friends and acquaintances. Now, friends, personally, the friends that I call friends who are not acquaintances, they don't get upset if I tell them, I'm a little busy, can I call you back in, let's say, 2 weeks' time or tomorrow, whenever I have the time for them to talk to me about personal matters or whatever it is they want to talk about. They usually do not get upset.
That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
And about acquaintances, I think I'm still trying to figure out what's the right way to manage that. Because first, my question would arise, where is this expectation of being available 24/7 is coming from?
Right, and you wonder, is it something I did?
Yes.
Or is it something resonant in their approach to things?
Yes, and I think, like I said, given the dynamics that we're currently living in, and with COVID and everything, everybody wants to be listened to. Everybody wants to be
Yes,
paid
and in
attention
many
to.
ways, everybody has a right to be listened to.
Right.
But I find they'll send me a text says that asks me a question that I just really don't have time to deal with, and then half an hour later I'll get a question mark, and then another half hour later I'll get 2 question marks, and I just find that kind of thing excessive.
It is excessive, and I think it's not so much of a problem of how it's perceived, but it's also where it's coming from.
Oh, certainly.
Because that person is somewhere else. We don't know what situation, where they are, what state of mood they are in. And likewise, we don't know what state of mood we are in when we're receiving that message, or how busy we are. They cannot foresee that. So I think it's often an unfair expectation that's being put on the friend to be constantly available whenever they need it.
Right, well, it seems very one-sided, or maybe I should say very egotistical, to demand attention in that sense. And I mean just attention, and I'll distinguish somebody who is contacting me or calling me for a really urgent, critical need or something really important, as opposed to those who are driving somewhere or bicycling and decided it would be a good time to call and have a conversation.
Right, exactly.
And then they call and just start. And I think it's very important, and I try to do this all the time. Unless it really is a critical issue, when I call someone, the first thing I will say is this a good time for you? Do you have a moment?
Yes.
Because not enough people do that to me.
Right, and I think that's a very good practice to adopt for anyone, really, to make sure that the person you're calling or reaching out to is available completely and is able to spend X amounts of minutes to be fully present to listen to you.
Right, because when you call someone or when they call you, they want your quality time. Right. They don't just...
And often we're living in the world of multitasking, and so what actually happens, the person who gets the call feel, oh, I must make myself available, but at the same time they have this other thing that they need to do, I don't know.
Or
cooking,
2 other things
or
going
2
on.
other things, or emailing. And they're splitting their attention into doing these things, making oneself not fully present.
Yes, and we know how important being fully present is for everything.
Right.
But as a general rule, I'd like to suggest that when someone calls, the first thing they say is, hey, is this a good time?
Exactly.
That would make the world a better